Skipping Through Theatre podcast with Nathan and Maddie.
Hello! Welcome back to another Skipping Through Theatre episode. Today our special guest is Lucie. She trained at the Italia Conti Academy of Performing Arts and has been in multiple West End shows.
Some of her credits include Dina in Starlight Express, the original London cast of Shrek the Musical, Fleck in Love Never Dies, and she performed on ITV's This Morning.
We are so happy to have her on today's episode, so let's begin!
Hi Lucie, we are so thrilled to have you on the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So we will start by asking you some questions about your journey through the performing arts industry. Okay, let's get to the first question. What inspired you to get into the performing arts industry?
I'd say when I was really young, my mum used to love musical theatre and she used to play on repeat Miss Saigon in the car, and we used to sing it together and we knew every single word of the whole album. And basically, Leah Salonga was on that cast recording, and I absolutely love her. She's been in so many shows. She is amazing. She's actually, if you don't know already, she is the original voice of Jasmine in Aladdin. But yeah, she played Kim in Miss Saigon, and she's amazing. And I think I would say her voice inspired me to go into musical theatre.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what do you enjoy about performing?
I love that whenever you're in a show or a musical, you play a different character. And I think it's really fun to explore different characters. And it's so fun when you can play like a villain in one show and then a goodie in another. And how contrasting your life can be as a performer, going through your CV. Yeah.
Yeah,
I totally agree. It's quite a wide variety that you can do, and it's so inspiring, especially seeing you, especially when we were doing for High School Musical, all of the things that you did to show off emotions, and it really gave us ideas, and I was still very nervous because it was my first proper show.
Yeah.
But it was really nice how you gave us ideas to go towards all of that.
Yeah, and I think it's so nice to explore real life experiences and then put them into that character as well, which really helps, and it's fun to experiment with that.
Since you have done so many shows, what's an average show day like for you?
Okay, so our body clock is very different to the usual kind of 9 to 5 office job. And so we would finish a show obviously late, then get home really late. So I would have a bit of a lay-in in the morning and probably wake up about 10 o'clock because we'd go to bed so late. And then I'd get ready, have breakfast, and then by the time that had all happened, I'd head into Covent Garden. We'd get to the theatre and sign in, and then we would all get called down for a physical warm-up with the dance captain on the stage, and then we'd do a vocal warm-up with the musical director, and then we'd go to our dressing rooms and have the half-hour call and get ready, and come down for beginners if obviously we were in the first scene. And then obviously a 2-show day, I'd go quite prepared with like a packed lunch, and we'd have like a microwave in our dressing room so that we'd have like jacket potatoes and things like that. Things that could kind of give us some energy because it was a long day, a 2-show day. And obviously that would keep us in the theatre the entire day till about 10:15, 10:30.
Yeah.
And then we'd get on the tube, go home and get in about 11 o'clock. So yeah, it could be really long, obviously, if it was a 2-show day. But on a 1-show day, we wouldn't have to be there actually until 5 o'clock. So then we had the whole day, which was really nice because if we're auditioning for other contracts, and like say when I was in Joseph, at the end of my contract, I was then auditioning for new shows. So I auditioned for Grease whilst I was still in Joseph. So in the day, it was good because I could still go to auditions for that and then do the show at night.
I would say some of your days are more chill, but being a person in performing arts, that must be chaotic having 2 show days.
Yeah, the 2-show days are they're hard going, and especially when you're doing 8 shows a week, it really adds up.
Gosh,
yeah.
Because you only get one day off, in the West End you get one day, rather than usually most people do get the 2 days. So yeah, you do have to eat well and drink a lot of water, to keep healthy and keep alive for them.
It must be really hard. How do you get over stage fright?
So stage fright, I think that I'd always tell someone if they have stage fright to try and fight the fight and perform as much as you can in front of different types of people. And no matter how you feel, even if you start off and you feel like you're failing, to just keep going. And you might be able to perform for a couple of minutes the first time, and then you might be able to perform for half an hour the second, like grow that confidence basically by putting yourself into the position that you don't want to be in. It's all about fighting through it. And I'd say I had an example of that actually in my own career in Starlight Express, because I found the skating really hard in that show. It didn't come very naturally to me, and we used to have to skate down 6-foot drops.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It was I found it personally very scary. Some people just loved the thrill of it and were amazing, but it just used to give me such nerves before the show. So I'd take some really slow breaths before the show and take myself off to focus and really kind of psych myself up. But I had to kind of fight through it and force myself, and no one ever would have known when I was on the stage that I would have been scared. But yeah, that's an experience I've had of it slightly.
I myself suffer with really bad stage fright with singing. It's because I haven't been doing it at such a young age, but Miss Lucy's been helping me a lot to overcome that. I have been practicing.
Oh, good. You will get through it. You just need to keep performing in front of people, and it'll get easier each time.
Who helped you most with your career?
So support-wise, I'd say that I was really lucky to have the parents I had to support me, because my mum and dad was so supportive growing up. They were taxis, basically, took me everywhere I needed to be, and helped me massively when I went to college. They helped me financially and with all the lifts, and I was really lucky to have their support. And then on the flip side, obviously, all of my teachers from when I was younger. So my dance teachers, I used to have private Lambda acting exams, Lambda acting classes with a lady in Northampton. And I used to have private singing lessons with a lady called Janice. I used to go to her house. And they all helped me obviously with my college auditions as well to get me to Italia Conti. And then when I went to Italia Conti, they were absolutely amazing. I can't big up Italia Conti enough. They were absolutely amazing. And I was part of the agency, and they were the ones that actually got me my first West End job as well. So yeah, all of those people that I've mentioned.
My dad was taxiing me around quite a bit. So what advice would you have for someone wanting to follow in your footsteps?
I would say that if you want to go into the performing arts industry, that you have to be able to get up from a fail, and you have to be okay and happy to fail, because you have to fail to succeed. And there are a lot of knockbacks in the performing arts industry, so you have to be ready for those. And if you can get through them, do make you stronger. And it's about that determination to get through them. So that's the advice I'd have. You just need to get up from the knockbacks.
Yeah, that's really good advice.
Brilliant. I like the motivation to never give up, because once you maybe something does happen where you don't get into it, you have to know that there's always going to be something better that's going to come overcome in the future. So it's not the worst thing that's happened, because you're going to get something that's going to be way better than that. And you just need to believe in yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what it is about. You really have to believe in yourself, because that's as strong as you can be, isn't it? If you have that belief, then other people will believe it too.
Yeah, I totally agree. Do you have one wonderful or humorous memory from your career you can share with us?
I have a wonderful memory. So when I did Grease, Jimmy Osmond was the celebrity in the show. So I don't know if you know, because you are very young, but there was a band called the Osmonds. Do you know them?
I don't think so.
Your parents will laugh at that. So they sang a song that's really famous called Puppy Love, and they called it Puppy Love. Do you know that song?
No, I haven't heard it.
No. Well, Jimmy Osmond was in Grease. He played Teen Angel, and I was totally starstruck by him. And at the end of his contract, he bought everyone Domino's Pizza, the whole cast and company.
Aww.
And he'd drawn these caricature photos of every single person in the cast and gave us all one each. which was so lovely. And it was so impressive because we already thought that he was amazing for his career. But then he was actually like an artist too, which was kind of this hidden talent that he had that no one knew about. So that was really cool to have as a memory.
Yeah.
That must have been so fun being around the cast, and what an amazing experience.
Yeah, no, it was, yeah.
It sounds a bit like the other week we had Imogen Leave on, who I'd done a Quaker Chewy advert with. And she worked with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, and Hugh Jackman got everyone scratch cards on Fridays, which was quite nice of him.
Oh, that's wicked.
So, yeah.
I love that.
So what has been your favourite show you've done in the West End?
Grease the musical always wins it for me. And it wasn't the biggest musical with the biggest budget, actually, because I was in Shrek the musical, and that was an original cast and it was a massive budget. But my favourite contract was Grease. I think that, like, for lots of reasons, I love the songs, the costumes. I got to play Frenchie and Sandy, which were both two totally different characters, and also so fun. Frenchie was so fun to act. Sandy was so fun to sing her songs. And the people, like the cast as well, we all built such a lovely relationship, all of us. And it was just an absolute blast the whole year.
Yeah.
Gosh, it sounds like you had such an amazing time.
Yeah, it was. It was so fun.
What inspired you to open up a performing arts school?
So I knew that I was going to kind of stop performing in shows, mainly because it come to the time where I really wanted to start a family, and I didn't particularly, like, lots of people do it, but I just didn't want to be working night times. So I thought, right, I'm going to make a change in my life and start a performing arts school, because I feel like I'll get the same buzz from it. I imagined I would, which I definitely do. It gives me the same buzz.
Yeah.
And I opened up just a couple of classes a week with 16 children, and now there's 244, which is madness, isn't it? And it really does give me the same buzz, you know, like the shows, even though I'm not on stage, give that same buzz, and I absolutely love it. So I feel like I'm still so in the industry, even though I'm not performing myself now.
And look where you've come to now. That is just, wow.
It's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So what's your favourite musical theatre song, and can you sing a line from it?
Probably Hope to See Devoted to You, because it's from my favourite, well, show that I've been in, not favourite show ever, probably. A line from it. Hopelessly devoted to you.
Wow.
Oh my
That's
God,
really
that
good.
was amazing.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank
Wow.
you.
I wish I could sing like that.
I'm not sure what the sound is like in my house, but
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good here.
You sound amazing.
Good.
What was it like performing at the 2012 I'm going to mess up this pronunciation, Olivier Awards?
Yes, that's right, yeah. That was actually amazing. That was a big point in my career that I feel so lucky to have been part of. You know, not everyone gets to perform at the Olivier Awards, and it was such a buzz. It felt absolutely amazing. Yeah, I loved that. It was a great evening, and I'll never forget it. And still, sometimes I'll occasionally reminisce and watch it on YouTube to put myself back there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really amazing.
Yeah, I love watching all that stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Same.
Do you have any plans for the future?
I do have plans for the future. I've got one plan for the school, which unfortunately I can't say at the moment because
No.
But it's a positive plan, and hopefully you'll find out. And well, you will eventually.
I'm excited now.
Yeah, and then other plans going forward. Because people always ask me whether I would perform again or, you know, go into the West End again. And I always say I don't know. Maybe when my children grow up and they're older, then I would possibly think about doing a West End contract again where I play an older character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like Donna in Mamma Mia or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Maybe watch this space, we'll see.
Thank you so much for this episode. It's been so much fun having you.
Oh, good. Thank you for inviting me on.
Yeah,
You're
thank
welcome.
you. Bye. If you would like to see more about Lucie Downer's Performing Arts School and agency, you can check on all lowercase luciedownerperformingarts.com and all lowercase ldpaagency.com.
Skipping Through Theatre podcast with Nathan and Maddie.